Yeah.
Oh, Bird's got to win this weekend, huh?
Yeah, they got your big blue coming up.
They're like medium blue right now. These guys driving me nuts.
Extra meat
Who blows a 19-point lead in the third or fourth quarter? It's awful.
Fire, yeah, we
Terrible.
bring it home.
I can't.
Cheesesteaks
I
to
can't. I don't
that
want to think about it.
secret
I don't.
sauce. We slice, we
I'm still
dice,
talking
we
about it.
never
I don't
get
wanna-
lost. Sizzle in the
This
pan,
is an
flavor
Eagles
in
thing,
the
and this is
street
why
where
it's
culture
a
and
bird, baby.
kitchen always meet.
I'm always on the outside of this.
Feel the
Always.
beat,
I'm not.
bold and
It's fine.
spicy, can't be beat.
Shut up, song. Now I'm all mad about the stupid Giants.
And we're going to have Brandon Graham back, too.
Oh, I saw that. Good for you.
EG is going to be talking smack
I'm
all
sure.
day Sunday.
I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure. What's funny is, as far as like Eagles players go, I actually like the personalities of most of the players. Like I love like what's his face, Kelsey and everything. Like so it's
they're great guys.
It's kind of funny to me. It's like,
Switch team.
so I will not. My father.
It's not too late. We'll accept you.
We'll allow you in.
I'm a good fan. I'm pretty passionate. Yeah. So if you're watching or listening, thank you for tuning in to the Extra Meat Podcast. We want to welcome today's guest. His bakery has been a family business since 1924, I believe.
A little bit longer, but
little
that's
bit
the number we
longer.
go with.
All right.
24, Yeah.
And if you're a connoisseur of great cheesesteaks, hoagies, or tomato pies, you've undoubtedly had at least one of their products. Welcome to the show, Mike Corropolese.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Before we get into anything, though, we should talk about our sponsor.
Sponsor, as we have on the screen up here, we're at Easy Micro Studios down here. IT services for small businesses. Anything you need, anything you want related to IT service for a small business, these are the people to go to. Easy Micro.
Absolutely. They're awesome. And if you want to sponsor the podcast, reach out to extrameatpod@gmail.com, and we'll figure out something you can give us. I don't know what it's going to be.
Doesn't matter. Anything.
Anything, yeah.
We'll
Just
take it.
like if you're going to put it out on the curb for pickup, give it to us, and we'll mention you on the podcast.
We got a lot of space to put things on the
Got-
table.
got room.
So
Perfect
much room.
space
It's,
for
space over
it's
there.
such a big table.
giant tomato pie with an Eagles logo.
Hey.
That would be nice.
Had to throw that Eagles logo in there.
Yep.
So I know we had one specific question that we're both dying to know, so I'm going to let you go ahead and ask, though.
It's a very specific question. So the
Okay.
question is, a lot of people don't know how to say the company name.
The
or the
company
bread
name.
So I know how I say it. I say Corropolese. I think Chuck says.
I also say Corropolese. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but that's how I say it. I just said the name in the intro, so I hope I was right.
So we hear it all, and we want to hear it from.
I've heard so many. 49 years old. I'd still hear new ways to say it, and they're all wrong. Even Corropolese is technically wrong, but
Wow.
that's the way we say it in our business and in our name. We say Corropolese, but it's technically Corropolese.
Say it.
That's so fun. Corropolese.
Corropolese.
You
I
are
like
international.
that. That's
This guy's
fun.
international
That's
over
fun. I
here.
like that. I refuse to say Corropolese ever again.
There you go. I would love to change it, but it's already entrenched. You can't do it. I have a couple cousins in Royersford. They've always tried to change it to Corropolese.
So I've heard it like that's. We
I've
were
heard it
talking
too.
about that earlier. I've
Yeah.
heard it like that before.
Yeah, they
That's
pronounce
one of the
it that
ways.
way.
So they pronounce it that way.
They stick with it, and that's
Your cousins.
my cousins. Yeah.
That's so funny. So you're causing the division from within.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he looks ecstatic about that one. Looks happy.
That's
Hey,
funny.
We own it. We're owning Corropolese. They want to own Corropolese. That's
Whatever.
fine.
Whatever.
I'm going with the original pronunciation.
Corropolese.
Every video from now on, people are going to be like, "You're an idiot. That's not how you say it." And I'm like, really?
Tune in the Extra Meat Podcast.
That's
Heard
awesome.
it here first.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
So, so I have to ask, so why bread? Like, could you give us a kind of a Cliff Notes version of, the company or why that's the route?
So it's, I'm fourth generation. So it's kind of in the blood, and I've been born into it, kind of pushed that way. I broke my dad's shoes for 30 years. We're bakers. If you were one letter different, I'd be counting money, banker. Baker, banker, one letter, man. Different kind of dough, so much better life.
Yeah, different kind of dough. I like that.
But it's not a horrible life. Provides good life for us. It's fun. It's challenging. And like I said, fourth generation. My son's in it now. He's fifth generation. So we're keeping it going.
That's
At this
awesome.
point, you can't let it go. You got to keep pushing.
I love that. And that's your kids, or your son at least, is like excited about that?
He's 20, man. I don't think they're
So
excited
not excited about
much.
anything. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
No,
He's
he's
excited about like playing video games and yeah, right.
I'm glad I heard that. From
Video
you.
games and chasing
Glad I
tail.
heard that from you because I don't think any kids really like what they get into. So
No.
family
Well, especially
thing,
right now.
you know?
Yeah, it's
it's how it is.
Yeah, my dad told me I could be anything when I was grow up. He's like, you can go to college. I'll send you to trade school, whatever. I said, okay, cool. I want to go be an electrician. I said, okay, get all the information. And he got it. He's like, all right, well, I'll see you at work tonight. I was like, what happened to be an electrician? No. Come to work.
This is
you know?
better.
Yeah. I need you tonight.
you could be anything you want to
You
be,
could.
but
Yeah, I didn't expect you to actually try.
yeah, right. But we still got rolls to make.
Yeah.
Time to make the donuts.
That's all we had. It was me, my brother, and my father. That was it. There was 3 of us in there. We would have a few people, come and go, but it was just the 3 of us. I was like 10 years old.
Wow.
Even when I was like 5, my first memories of the bakery, I was like 4 or 5 years old, cracking cans of sauce open. We used to make
That's
the
cool.
sauce, and my grandmother had this giant wooden spoon. I mean, it had to be, to me, it was like 8 feet tall. I was a little kid. But you sit there and you stir it up like, witch's brew for hours, Do it a little different now, but that was my
That's
first
cool,
memory,
though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Came a long way.
A long
Came
way.
a long
man.
way.
Very long way. Yeah.
So
We're
it was-
still going.
It was the 3 of you guys running the bakery
Yeah.
back then.
Back in the early 90s, late 80s. And before that was my grandmother, my grandfather, my father. My mother was involved a little bit.
Did you guys expect to have a boom like this?
No. We're like any other business, you struggle for a long time, and we opened our first retail store in 85. And before that, we were struggling, man. It was, we always had food to eat, but it was normally tomato pie and pasta, pasta was cheap, So we didn't really start being successful till we opened that store in Norristown in 1985. And then, it took a lot for my dad to do that, a big leap of faith, put everything, houses on wheels, everything, into it. And it worked out, thank God. And, he did really good. And, growing up, I seen me go from wearing, nothing but Corropolese shirts because I had to advertise in school. Everybody's like, what are you wearing that to school for? That's all I had. So, you're eating pasta and pizza. Everybody has that sad backstory.
Yeah.
But, it worked out well. I seen us go from that to, I remember my dad bought a Cadillac. I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. Back then it was a big deal, So, we came a long way. And in the bakery, too, we did everything by hand for such a long time. I missed that part, though. It was physically, I can't do it anymore. I'm 49, but my body's like 75. So,
Yeah, well, probably from the years of doing that.
yeah. So now most of what we do is automated.
Yeah.
A lot of button pushing. I had to make it to where I could do it when I was 70.
Mark was saying when he was here, though, that for that double-seated roll, he said, like, he was watching them put seeds on by hand.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So we get a big Tupperware bin of seeds, and it's like old school, man. We put the roll in there, spray it down with water, roll it in the seeds,
awesome.
spray the other
For
side.
every single roll.
Every single one.
Just that roll?
Just that roll. And you buy the roll, right?
Yeah.
It's not the
Use your-
cheapest thing out there.
No, it's not.
That's part of the reason. It's a lot of labor into it.
I think it's totally worth it.
A lot of labor.
I love that roll. I love that roll.
A lot of people are like, yo, this is too expensive. You got to give me a better deal. It's like, I'm literally making
Whatever,
like,
right?
my percentage is less on that bread,
Right.
I got to make something on it. And it's a great roll. I want to make it, and everybody wants me to make a smaller one. So it's
I like an 8.
like a 12-inch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's, the loaf. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, it sounds like you started off as a bakery,
Yeah.
baking all this stuff, selling it to who before you opened up the retail store?
So back in the 40s, 50s, life was different. So my grandfather, his route, bread route back then
Okay.
was houses.
Houses.
So you would
Wow.
go around in your bread truck to houses like the milkman.
I
You
was just
drop
gonna
a
say, like
loaf
the
of
milk
bread
guy.
off every day.
Right.
People
right.
had a loaf of bread on their table for dinner every day. I mean, when was the last time you guys had dinner with your family at all?
Yeah, right.
right.
No,
It
really.
doesn't happen
Absolutely.
like that anymore.
Right.
So that evolved. We changed, and we moved into supermarkets for a little while in the 70s, early 80s, selling tomato pies. It all works, but you got to change with the times. People wanted the convenience of the bakery deli, and my dad didn't have a whole lot of foresight on anything, but man, he actually hit that one. He did.
Wow.
Did a good job on that one.
So went into retail.
into retail.
And the retail is what took off.
That's what took off. We abandoned wholesale for a good 15 years. We didn't do anything.
Wow.
We abandoned it.
So it was out of the store in Norristown.
Everything we did was out of that store in Norristown from 85 till right around 2000.
It's crazy. It's crazy to hear this. It's like a success story that you hear about. It's been going on for many generations, and you're running it now to the kids and your kids and fifth generation. It's crazy to hear that, and it only tells a story about the product and how good the product is, to be able to survive different times and eras and generations. And obviously, you've done something right that keeps going. And to me, dealing with using your bread and hearing other retailers or stores or restaurants aiming to go your bread, it just seems like you're one of, you're doing it right.
I'm trying.
You're doing it right.
I take my name. I put a lot of pride in my name. You know, we don't name our bakery. We didn't name it after a town. You know,
Right.
we have our name on there. You know, so when the box leaves the bakery, I want to be proud of what's in that box. Is it like that every day?
Oh,
You know,
right.
it's not perfect.
Right.
Baking is not a perfect science, and but I do put everything into it, and I obsess over it. Which you guys, food, that's what you do.
Listen, I relate
Yeah.
to you. I mean, our business is SMP. It's the three initials of my three kids. So every product that goes out represents my three kids. So
That's in your mind. Everything that leaves.
100% agree with you. You hit it. You hit the nail on the head there. You're right. There's sometimes that things go out. It's part of what goes out, but absolutely you take pride in it. Obviously, at least I see it. I see it from
appreciate
what we
that.
hear and all of that and product. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome.
No, if we have a bad day, it's not lack of effort or caring. It's just
Bad day.
Everybody has a
Human
bad
beings,
day.
Absolutely.
everybody has a bad day. You can have the perfect equipment in the world, the best equipment in the world, but everything breaks. What do you do when it breaks?
Right.
You know, what happens when the power goes out,
Right.
or somebody hits a pole, or the water goes down? Something, you know, you got to adjust and make things work.
Right. Right.
At the end of the day, you're expecting that bread you ordered to show up.
Sure.
So I make it my goal to make sure no matter what, your bread's there.
Bread's there.
And I don't want to let anybody down. That's my biggest thing. Don't let people down. They're counting on you. There's so many people counting on you to do, you know, your business is, what are you going to do? Make wraps all day, you know? So,
No, we would close.
yeah.
We
So,
would close. I mean, I
yeah.
100% agree with you, and I say that to everybody. I said everything we do is based on the bread that we put it on.
Yeah.
And if the bread that we put it on isn't there, then there's no reason for us to open.
Yeah, keep that in my mind all the time. 'Cause all your customers are counting on you.
Right.
You know, there's no failure. You know, my son's like, well, the machine broke. I guess we just go home. No. I got a lot to teach you. There is no failure or nothing. He's like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to get my welder out. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to get my multimeter out, and I'm going to figure out what's wrong. I'm going to replace the part. He's like, how do you know to do those stuff? Because I don't accept failure. You know, I learn, and if there's a way to fix it, I'll find it. And I knock on wood, I haven't had a day where I didn't put product out because of, you know, failure on my part.
Right.
You know,
And that's not only commendable to hear, but also like you're teaching your son that path, you know,
trying,
yeah,
man.
yes, that's cool. It's
Yeah.
hopefully that means that, you know, this carries on at least one more generation where they're doing things, you know, I don't want to say the right way, but the right way, you know, like.
It's the way. See, I was always the fix-it guy in the family. Even when I was a little kid, my dad would have me fix the stuff, and my brother, he couldn't fix much either. So he was always, you know, like 12 years old. You know, our oven broke one day. I was 12 years old, and the pilot line was snapped. And he's like, "You got to fix it." And I'm like 12 years old. He's like, "The space shuttle's crashing. I need you to fix it." I said, "I got you." That was my first experience with duct tape. You know, was it safe? No, but we got bread out that day. So
Duct tape has a phrase for a reason.
yeah. You can fix anything with duct tape, man. Anything.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So how did your bread become such a big steak sandwich bread? Was the intent when they originally made it, and it sounds like we heard a little bit of backstory. The backstory wasn't really intended for, maybe I'm wrong, but it was intended for family dinners, a loaf of bread on a table, not necessarily for a sandwich.
Right.
But as you evolved, was the goal to evolve into a steak sandwich type bread, or was it to evolve into a multi-purpose bread, I should say?
It was a need. So we opened a bakery deli. We had our bread in there. We didn't really have our own rolls in there. So for a while, we were buying them from Conshohocken Bakery. My father and Dominic were friends before, back in the day. Most of the bakers in our area came from a bakery named Brazillo's. Either worked there at some point, passed through or something, but they worked there together for a little while. And we were buying some rolls from Conshohocken when we first opened our bakery deli. And then my brother and my father got together and they formulated our rolls, Kaiser rolls, steak rolls, club rolls, things like that. Just things you need for a bakery deli. And we transferred off of Conshohocken onto our stuff. And we carried that through for, 15 years. And then, 2001, we opened our Limerick store. And that's when my father retired. My brother took over and said, we're going to the next level. His dream was retail. He wanted to open all these different stores and, branch out. And so to do that, we wanted satellite stores around a central baking facility. So we moved our bakery out of our little store in Norristown into basically a warehouse. It looks like an office building on the outside. It was 10,000 square feet when we got in there. We're like, this is way too big. So, we started doing a little bit of wholesale then to pay for it. So, you got to fill the overhead. So we picked up wholesale accounts and developed the bread a little bit more, make it better for steak sandwiches and things like that, So that takes you to the next level where you're like, okay, now I'm too busy to do this. I need more equipment. So you get the equipment. And you're like, well, I need more money to pay for this equipment. So you get more customers. So then you get more customers. You're like, I'm too busy. I need more equipment. And then I need more space for the equipment. So you're just chasing your tail around in a circle.
Right.
And to eventually you get to this point now, we're at like 30,000 square feet. And I'm like a sardine. I'm cramming equipment in there. And but it's like you don't know where that last domino is going to fall. But you have to continue to grow with the time. So we used to bake everything out of traveling ovens, like tray ovens we call them, revolving ovens. And the bread out of there was more towards what people like nowadays, which is more crispy on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So back in like 2005, that was not the trend.
Right.
People wanted that soft, squishy bread. To get that, you need a tunnel oven. So we invested in a tunnel oven. Now we can pump rolls out like mind-blowingly fast. But now everything's going back to the old school way, and I'm like, I just spent all this money, and I just got another one coming. So I'm like, so you have to learn and adapt. So how do I get that roll back that I made out of that tray oven out of this oven? And that's when I started working on that double-seated roll. So it's all about a need. You got to fill it. And how do you get there? And how do you fill that need? So it's just
So it evolves every couple years, few years, as the taste buds of the individuals out in society changes.
Yeah.
You guys are adapting.
You have to.
And that's what keeps you. But that being said, going back to that double-seated roll, how did that come upon? Where did that idea come from?
All right. So, I told you guys I watch your videos.
Right.
I stalk social media because I want to see my customers. If my customers are going to complain to me, I want to see why they're complaining. Like, I want to know what people want. So, like, I watch your page, right? Your customers post something on your page. The roll's horrible today. I know when because I seen it.
Right.
And I see what people are complaining about. They were complaining about soft, soggy, doesn't hold up, stuff like that. And they wanted seeds on there. And, like, the more seeds, the better. So, and the funny thing about seeds, like the great part about the seeded bread, as a baker, I'm one of the few people that know why the seeded bread's better. It's the seeds kind of insulate the roll. So it takes longer to bake. You're developing a better crust. So you're getting a better flavor, a better crisp, everything. So without those seeds on there, it's going to burn, and you're not going to get that. You have to lower the oven temperature and dry it out. So the seeds are part of what makes that bread good, but it's also because it's taking longer in the oven. You're developing a better crust, better product.
That's some of the stuff we ask.
Yeah, well, that's way better than my answer. I'm just like, because it tastes better.
Yeah.
Like, I like it because it tastes good.
Yeah.
It has good texture. That's it.
The more
Those are my
seeds you
answers.
put on, the longer it has to be in there to get
In
the
the
color
oven.
on it. So the double seeded, longer time.
Yeah.
So it costs me more time, more money. And you got to space it out in the oven more because of heat absorption. So you have your oven temperature set, and you try not to change the timing because it's a big conveyor belt. And you don't want to change the timing much. You want to change the space, and it affects the heat absorption. So if you have 5 across, it's going to absorb the same amount of heat as 3 across, but you're going to get a better color, better bake.
Right.
Now, if you go too far, then it burns.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's all about heat absorption. I've been learning
That's cool.
over the years,
Now, the science behind that stuff's really cool.
Yeah.
I think so.
There's science to everything.
Yeah.
There is
I think it's-
science. Yeah.
I always said that when I was in the kitchen. It's like the reason that I liked it so much was that like I could learn every day for the rest of my life and I still wouldn't know everything about food.
No.
It's like you just can't. Like there's just so much.
I learn something new about baking every day of my life. Every single day.
Right? That's
Every day.
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's insane how that works. So I mean we did hit it on it a little bit, but being as how you don't really have filler and garbage and stuff in your products, how hard is it to maintain quality standards? Like, like I would imagine, anything from like humidity to like who the baker is to, I mean, I'm sure there's so many factors. So like how
Everything.
right. That's just for anyone who doesn't maybe think about that every day, like how much of a struggle is that for you?
It's a 24/7 struggle. The entire process is a struggle. It's not like if you're cooking a steak, you start when you're cooking the steak. The baking starts, our process on that cedar roll is a 24-hour process. So the bread you're getting tomorrow is already fermentating in my walk-in box right now. So it's a process, and every part of it has to be right. And if it's not, it's going to show. And you see the rolls are not exactly the same every day, so.
Right.
Yeah, I think you answered some of that because sometimes we do see the double-seated roll where it's a lot softer
Yeah.
than it is other days. And when they're not as soft or as thick, sandwich is a little bit better, obviously, and a lot better, I should say. But you'll see it. But now, when you answered like the fourth, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that it takes that much.
There's
There's
there's so much into it. It starts with the flour, So you take your flour, and so my flour comes in a tanker truck. So it'll show up 50,000 pounds at a time, twice a week, which sounds like a lot, but other bakeries bury that. So
It does sound like a lot.
that's 100,000 pounds of flour. It's a lot of flour, but it's not, the bigger guys are burying that for sure. But, the tankers, it might be sitting outside in the hot sun all day. So the flour shows up, it's hot. They pump it in. The friction in the lines as they're pumping it makes it hotter. Then we pump it over to the mixer, makes it hotter. So you're dealing with 95, 96 degree flour. You're trying to get a 78 to 82 degree dough. So we're pumping in 40 degree water. And then you have to adjust it with ice to try and get the dough developed the right way without overdeveloping it and getting it too hot. Now, if you go too far one way or the other, it's undermixed or overmixed. And then there's mixing inside the process as well. So we have different lines. They both are, they're a little rougher. One's rougher than the other. So there's a little trivial amount of mixing going on in that line. So you have to undermix a little bit for that one, overmix for the other one. You have the weather, the humidity, refrigeration. It all plays a part. Sometimes the bread's proofing before it goes in the proof box.
Right.
I could go on for 6 weeks about how many variables, but it comes down humidity. If it's raining out, forget it. Cooling time after the oven. In the summertime, you need 45 minutes of cooling time. I have 12. So,
and this is the exact reason why they say a sandwich is made by the bread that it's put in.
yeah.
This is it.
Oh, this doesn't sound so hard.
No.
Yeah. It even comes down to how it's transported. So if the guy's truck is too moist inside, and if it's raining outside, he's got moisture in the truck, or when the customer gets it and they, God forbid, put it in bags. I hate when customers put the bread in bags. Ruins it immediately.
So to go on that, that's how we used to get our bread.
Yeah.
Was bagged.
And we used to get it bagged. I used to request it bagged.
Yeah.
And then after a few months, maybe a month or two, I mean, obviously, if the bread, you learn as time goes on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? No, just we got it one time by accident outside the bread. And I was, why? Telling my driver, the delivery driver, why is this out of the why are these? I'm making a sandwich. I'm like, shit, this
It's actually better.
is actually better.
Yeah.
I called him up the next day. I said, no bags. You just yelled at me for that.
I see the light. No more bags, please.
No more
Yeah.
bags, yeah.
There are certain areas that we deliver to that they like their bread soft and they like it mushy and they want it bagged. So I, give people what they want. I'll get a text from 4 different customers in one day with the same picture of the same bread. One will tell me it's too dark. One will tell me it's too light. One will tell me it's perfect. It's the same exact picture of the same bread. You know,
a
it's
lot of it's preference.
yeah, it's preference a lot of times.
Right.
You know, I had one customer posted, you know, the line from Con Air, you know, new sunrises are beautiful or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Newborn babies are beautiful. This is spectacular, and it was like
the roll.
the darkest roll I ever put out, and I got beat up by like 10 other people because the rolls were too dark that day.
Yeah, no, it's always like that. Like bread, like pizzas like that. Like, you know, I like pizza well done. I always have. So, like,
Yeah.
people will look at my videos where I order the pizza well done. They're like, that's burnt. I'm like, well, you might think so. I don't think so. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm the same with the rolls, though. When the didn't suck roll. When the double cedar roll comes in, like, I like when it's darker. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just,
To me,
it's firmer outside. It's crispier. It has a better flavor.
it gives it. I mean, you can't go extreme. You know, it can't look like the wall.
Right.
Yeah, it's the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice on that one for me. You know, but
That is a new way to use that phrase.
yeah, it's just the way it is. You know, that bread needs to be dark. It needs to be baked thoroughly, and I do my best with it. You know, I have another oven. Just showed up Friday. It's in pieces now. Hopefully, within the next month or so, it'll be up and running.
I have a space here if you want to hook it up.
You got room for 4 shipping containers?
Yeah, right. The next 100,000 pounds of flour come over here.
We can make it happen. You want a satellite location?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you what, I'd be game for help, man. I'd love to have another guy helping me.
Yeah, that's what you need. More work.
Yeah, because I got time for that.
I got a good group of guys with me, but you can never have too much help.
Absolutely.
No way.
Agreed.
Yeah, especially these days. Like everyone seems to be their issue is you know, like,
Yeah.
not you know, I don't want to trash talk anyone's employees, but, like, you know, finding consistent good numbers of good help
Yeah.
seems to be hard.
You're only as good as your weakest link, you know, so it comes down to employees a lot of time. That's another thing with consistency and quality. It comes down to employees, you know. Some guys will put anything in a box, you know, like we have totes we keep by the packing area, and we put
Quality check your stuff. Yeah.
right. We quality check it. If a roll comes down looking like somebody's foot, you throw it in there for the farmer, you know. And
Right.
sometimes they don't do that, and it gets out. We don't like that, you know. We always put in a 10% buffer for cripples, and you know, sometimes you go over, sometimes you go under.
Sure.
But if you have a bad run, if you put 12 rolls in the oven, not all 12 are usable. It's just not going to work that way. You know, sometimes they get smashed and conveying and things like that, burnt, whatever. So, you know, if one of them gets out, I don't like that. I like to have, I'm giving you a place to put the bad ones, put them there. And it doesn't always work out that way, but that's what we try to. But quality control is definitely a tough one for everybody, you know.
So do you ship bread to different states right now, or are you still just locked into the tri-state area, if that's even correct?
Right now, your guy's Freddie, right?
Yeah.
Freddie takes some stuff down to Maryland, I think.
Okay.
I have a guy that takes some pies down to New Jersey, some tomato pies, but we're mostly
Pennsylvania.
right in this Pennsylvania area. I have
Yeah.
a few distributors in Virginia and Delaware that want me to supply them, and I've just been holding them off. You know, there's only so much you can do with what you have, and at this point, I'm not trying to get. I'm putting a new oven in, and it's not to grow so much as it is to slow down and breathe and be comfortable again and make the product. You know, if you're making 50 cheesesteaks twice as fast as you were making 10, you know, it's going to suffer. So
Sure,
that's where we're at now.
Sure.
We're just making the stuff too fast. I want to
Sure.
slow down and breathe,
Sure.
get my quality where I want it to be, and relax and not be feeling I'm letting anybody down with an inferior product. You know,
Right.
the money will come in time to pay for the equipment. As long as you're putting a good product out, the money will come. I'm not worried. I'm just trying to get the product right.
So you don't ship anything down south, nothing right now?
No, not right now. There's a few people that want to do it, and I'm just kind of holding them off for now.
Is that so I know I don't want to use names. There's another bread company that I know does like par bake products,
Right.
and like they ship them to other states and stuff. Is that something you've ever thought about?
I thought about it. Right now, I don't have the ability to, because when you set up your tunnel oven, so it's a big conveyor, you have a top end and a low end on your speed. My low end on my oven now is not fast enough to make par bake.
Oh, wow.
So when the guys set my new oven up, I can have them set the low end lower. For some reason, they set the high end at 90 minutes, which is ridiculous. I'm not baking anything ever at 90 minutes. So I'll have them set the low end lower, and then I can explore that as an option down the road. You know,
Yeah, it was something we talked about at one point. You know, it was like just curious, like because I you know, in my experiences, unless they're making their own bread anywhere, and your experience, we've talked about it. You know, like anywhere far away, you can't get a good cheesesteak. You know, like you can get somewhere that has a quality meat, and maybe they can get Cooper or whatever you like, whoever's listening to this. You know, they can do those aspects, but like when it comes to the roll, like unless they've figured out a way to make their own, you're not getting a good roll in Miami, or you know what I mean? Like, and you know, I know there's places down there that claim to have great steaks and whatever. I don't know, but everywhere I've been, my experiences only, I've never been, you know, outside of this general 2-hour, 3-hour window and gotten a good cheesesteak.
there's a couple reasons for that. One of them is the tri-state area is the last area that allows you to sell loose rolls. So
I didn't even know that.
outside of this area, everything has to be in bags when it leaves the factory, the bakery.
I didn't even know that.
I don't know how much longer we're going to get away with it. I mean, you see the boxes, you know, today's bottom box might be tomorrow's top box,
Right.
you know, so they're all about sanitation and everything now. I had to take all these courses last year for HACCP training and PCQI and sanitation, all this stuff to be certified and everything for the Department of Agriculture. So I'm learning all this stuff. And it makes you think twice about everything you're doing. And you're like, well, how are we getting away with this? And the guy's like, well, this is the last 3 states in the country that you can sell loose bread. Everyone else is bagged. Has to be in a plastic bag when it leaves.
Ugh.
So
That
that's
takes away from the quality
Right.
of what
Right.
what you're eating.
exactly. So that's one reason. The other reason, I mean, every baker will tell you the same thing. It comes down to the water. So
Yeah.
you find the best
We
bread,
heard
you'll
that.
find a really nasty, dirty river close by, and that makes the best bread. So you go down in Florida, it's all desalinated seawater. It's
Right.
no good for baking. You need the minerals, lots of dead stuff and rotting out cars or whatever in the river, you know, that makes the best bread.
So it's funny. I had a family, a lot of them moved now and passed away and whatever else, but in West Palm Beach in Florida, and there was these guys. I think it was 4 guys. They were former New York police officers. So they opened a place called NYPD Pizza down there, and they were shipping water
I heard
from
about
New
that.
York City down there.
Yeah,
And like I think everyone just thought they were nuts, but then the pizza was good.
yeah.
And it was like, you know, is it the water? Is it not? You know, like, and everyone was like debating or whatever. But that's, you know, to hear you say that and then think about it, I'm like, huh, that's interesting.
No, it's real for sure. I mean, I'm sure a good baker could go to Florida and make you decent bread. I think I could do it, but it's different. It's not going to be as good.
Let's go.
Right now.
25 years from now, I'm hoping.
Grab your
you know,
surfboard.
I have a plan. In 20, 25 years, I'll
Nice.
be down there.
Nice.
And
In
I'm gonna,
20 to 25 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 2025.
2025, we're there.
20
Yeah,
to
yeah.
25 more years.
Yeah.
I got a few more.
Still got a few more to go.
A few more in me, but I want to open a place called Whatever Whenever, and I make whatever I want whenever I make
That's awesome.
it, and when I run out, I'm out. You
That's
know?
awesome. I
And-
talked about that if I ever opened like, you know, because I talked about that too. Like, I don't really want to get back in a kitchen, but
Yeah.
maybe someday it happens. And I said, I was like, I'd like to open a place that has like a small amount of seating and just do a chalkboard, and I can change it every single day if I want to.
And if you
Like
don't feel like going to work that day, you don't. Go.
Right. Yeah, we're close.
Right.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, whatever,
great
whenever.
idea.
That's
That's
called
a
a
great idea.
retirement job.
I love it.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
No, I
You-
love it. That's
You
awesome.
still get to do something you're passionate about,
Right.
but you do it on your own
On your own
terms.
time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's almost like what you're talking about now. Like, I mean, it sounds like it's for the sake of the product also, but like you're trying to like turn back a little bit so you can kind of breathe, you know, like it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of doing what you're doing now slightly on your own terms.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I imagine that most people, myself included, don't have any idea what goes into research and development for like a new product. So like, is it just kind of like you're cruising the internet and you see something, or is it like you get like, you know, you have ideas already and it's like, can that work? Can't that work? Like, can you kind of paint a little picture of what goes into that?
You know, it all starts with the idea, you know, or a request. You know, so most of the time it's a request. The double seated was more of an idea, and then I started playing with it myself, and then I started getting the request. And Christos from Lorenzo's a few years ago came to me, and he says, I want you to make this roll for me. And I said, I've actually been working on this for like 9 months. And, you know, he came up with the size he wanted, and I worked on this for a good 9 to 12 months before I got it right. And there's a lot that goes into it, because you can't just make a new product in the bakery business, because you have to test it over all 12 months, see how it's going to behave in the weather and the different things. And then once I get it right, I got to give it to my guys and see what they're going to do with it. Find out how they're going to be creative enough to mess it up on me. You know, because, you know, no matter what you do, people find a way to take a shortcut or make it different or put their own twist on it. And sometimes it works out great. We're like, hey, man, you really screwed that up, but it's great. Thank you. Other times it's like, that's a tragedy, man. Don't ever do that again. But you need to go through the processes. And then there's also the ingredients. You know, some people don't want certain ingredients in their bread, and it's getting harder as a baker to make quality bread. You get these people, they get it in their mind that something's going to kill them that's in the bread.
Yeah.
Potassium bromate is the worst thing on the planet now. My grandfather was using this when I was a kid. I probably used to eat it like, you know, Flintstone vitamins. You know, but if you feed it to a mouse 5 times a day, it's going to die of cancer. So now everybody wants that out of their bread. You know, there's all kind of stuff that they keep taking away. There was trans fats and the soybean oil, hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated oils. They took that away. That was a big one because that's oils in all the bread.
Right.
You know, it helps makes it machinable and everything. And when they changed it, they wanted you to use palm oil. Palm oil makes your dough like paste. It sticks to everything. So we had to come up with something else. Now, apparently, fully hydrogenated oil is okay.
But partially
is bad, fully is fine. I don't know how the science works, but that's where we're at. But you could be selling, you know, like 20 years ago, we were making bread easy, and then all of a sudden, in a year, the flour just turned into rubber. And I'm like, what's going on here? Here, that's when they started the GMO stuff. They started modifying the crops to last through the rain, and the droughts, and everything out there. So now the flour is rubbery, and we don't have to deal with the spikes up and down in the prices and not having flour, but it's a daily struggle, you know.
And that's still currently, like, to this day?
Yeah, the flour's like rubber.
Jeez.
You know, you have to do different things to relax it and to make it machinable. So that's another thing when you're developing a product. Do you want to make it by hand? No, I don't want to make anything by hand. No. So if you make it by hand, you're limited on how many customers you can get it to. Right. So you want to make something that you can machine, and I can make the best bread on the planet. I mean, it'll knock your socks off. I got this bread, but I make it by hand. I can't put it out because everybody's going to want it. Can't supply it.
Right.
So,
I'll be the first to try it as a rollout here.
yeah, I know. I almost gave it to Mike when he was down. I'm not giving it to him because he's going to mention it and everybody's going to be on me. So
that'll be it.
I said, you know what? I'm not even going to bother giving it to him. But
especially him, his reach is huge.
It is, man. He gets out there. So, you know, you have to take that in, like, what do you want to do? How do you want to produce it? You have to be able to produce it. You know, so I'm working on that double seated in a 12-inch roll, but I can't produce it. So I haven't let it out yet. You know, everybody's been on me for the 12-inch. I just. But
there's your new product inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's your new product right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's one I've been working on. I got it pretty good, but you need more capacity to produce it. So to make the double seated, you have to put less on a board. Less on a board means less on a rack, less in the oven. So you're dragging out your production, and I'm barely getting by now. So I have to wait till I can get my production ramped up.
So with that double-seated 12-inch that you're talking about, would that be also hand-seated?
Yeah.
So that's going to be more than the other one.
It's a lot of labor. I mean, the machine that makes the 12-inch is faster. So that's another thing that goes into production as well. So I try and steer away from making long bread because that machine, almost everybody's machine that makes long bread makes one piece at a time. You know, it makes it fast, but it's one at a time. Mine makes 25 strokes a minute. So 25 a minute come out of this thing. Whereas though the 12-inch, you can make 8 at a time, and it's kicking them out. I mean, you can make 12,000 rolls an hour. So it's going to be more cost effective to make a 12-inch than, you know.
But then you'll still need somebody seeding it.
Still need somebody seeding it, and you know, then the people using the 24s are going to want to switch to the 12, and I'm losing money.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's true.
You know, but you know, you got to evolve with the times. That's what people want. So I'm going to get there eventually. Just got to get everything up and running. Been working on this project for over a year on this oven project, and everything takes forever.
Yeah.
Everything. It was a year to the day from when I put the order in until it showed up last Friday. That's ridiculous amount of lead time for everything.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
It really is a long time. I wonder why.
Everything is just forever. I don't know why. They initially told me 3 months. Yeah. So February, I was supposed to be up and running, and it just showed up. I was like, what's going on here? It ended up being a blessing because the township was dragging me through the mud with different permits and things like that. So it ended up just working out. But
That's always a fun situation too.
yeah, dealing with any part of government's always fun.
Yeah, right.
Always makes an extra challenge, you know. At one point, you just want to look at it and be like, listen, just tell me how much money you need and
Yeah, can we just
Yeah,
skip
just-
this part?
cut to the end, you know.
Right? That's what it is in the end anyway.
Yeah, just how much money it is.
Yeah, so we were going to ask if there was any new products in the pipeline.
Is there
but I think
anything
we-
else
Yeah,
that we need to know about?
The other thing I was working on, I put it out a couple weeks ago, was the hot pepper, long hot, and provolone pizza. I don't know if
Ooh.
you guys had that yet.
Oh.
So we did the hers challenge, chip challenge.
Oh, the chips. Yeah, yeah.
So early on, when they first approached us about coming back for it this year, and said, long hots is going to be in there. That was a great chip. And I said, all right, well, these guys might win, so let me see what I can do to pay homage to them. And I was going to make some money out too, you know.
Yeah.
But so I spent a few months while the contest was going on developing this pizza, and I ended up getting fresh long hots. I tried roasting them first. Doesn't work. So you get the fresh long hots, de-stem them, and I'm mixing them in our tomato pie dough. Then I sit the dough for 24 hours. And then I put imported sharp provolone on top. And then I put the sauce on top of that. And
That sounds awesome.
I don't eat food like this anymore, and I can't stop eating it.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good. And
So
Yeah.
hold on, let me text my.
Yeah, right.
driver
Exactly. Check
for
your yeah.
tomorrow.
Right.
only available on Sundays.
Oh, well, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna-
It's not coming tomorrow.
I might do Saturday and Sundays, but right now it's just Sundays.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you have to make so many of them to make the dough. So Saturday and Sunday football special, it's good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really, it's one of my favorite things. I worked on that for a few months too.
That's awesome. There you go. Sunday. I'll be getting one of those Sunday.
Yeah.
You're always working on the next thing. Right now, I've been kind of absorbed into this oven project, but I always have things running around in my head, and I have lots of ideas. But you also have to be able to come through and provide them when you
Right.
put them out there.
So I say this all the time. Once you, in any business, don't have ideas or don't want to work on a new project, I think your time in that business is over.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. You always have to have something new, something pumping, something to get people in,
yeah,
special, whatever it may be. But once you lose that passion, and I call that passion more than
Yeah.
it is anything, but once you lose that passion, I think it's time for you to open up whatever it is that you're gonna
Whatever,
open up.
whenever.
Whatever,
Exactly.
whenever, to make it work for you.
especially these days, people get bored
Yeah.
real fast.
Yeah.
They want to see something new all the time. You got to
Right.
keep changing and keep. That's why I'm surprised the cheesesteak thing is holding this long.
Yeah. Especially in the way, like, because pretty much everyone is kind of like the Cooper fried onion
Yeah,
seeded
it's-
roll. Like, that's kind of like where it is right now.
Yeah.
It's been that way for,
The
I mean, a
cheesesteak
while.
2.0 has been here for a while,
Yeah.
and everybody's doing it. And some people do better than others, but it's hanging on.
yeah,
I actually like that. Cheesesteak
2.0.
2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always say new school versus old school kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
like
Yeah.
that.
But I guess at some point there's going to be a new school too. So
Right. I don't know what's going to be next, man. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, sesame seeds are horrible. Don't eat them anymore. And now
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
right.
now what?
Yeah, right. Put it in with your partially hydrogenated oil.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so many things. Even they declared sesame an allergen last year, a major allergen. So
yeah,
now it's
no,
like,
I heard that.
you gotta-
keep it away from each other, from
Yeah.
getting seeded, and
so if you're allergic to anything from my places, don't eat it. Just there's sesame seeds everywhere now.
yeah, right.
If you're allergic to sesame seeds, stay away, man.
Yeah.
Get thousands of pounds of sesame seeds a week now. I told Mike, I said, thanks a lot, man. I sent him the bill for my sesame seeds. This is your
It's
fault, man.
Yep. Got one guy there 24 hours a day just rolling rolls
Yeah.
around in these seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two of them now. They're just sitting there all night rolling
That's wild.
rolls and seeds. But, they're happy they got work to do.
That's such a good roll.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoy it, man.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's like I said. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that necessarily, but there's definitely a place that I recently did a video at where I talked them into talking to you about a sample, and they told me after the fact. I haven't been back since, but they told me they switched. So
I appreciate it.
I tell everybody to use that roll. I love that roll.
I definitely appreciate the love. A lot of hard work went into developing it, and Making it every day is a challenge. It's a lot of work to make that roll, but I think it's worth it, you know, in the end.
It is, because when we got that roll, I actually sampled. So I had my driver sample 3 or 4 different things from you guys, and that was one of them. So there was another one that was still a longer roll with seeds on it.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It was like a French roll. It looked like a
Yeah.
French roll. So we did a couple samples, and that one just stood out for me. And
Yeah.
then we sampled it here as a sandwich. Like, damn, this is pretty good.
The ingredients in that roll are much different than anything else I make. It's got a little hint of sourdough in there. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, the ingredients alone are expensive on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a special roll. For
It's
sure.
cool though, because it gives you that little bit of like difference, you know,
Yeah.
like I always said, like, you know, I know everyone's always like, you know, talking about how the roll at Angelo's is the best, and I actually personally think Del Rossi's roll is better. And there's a sourdough,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why I lean towards this so hard. That little bit of difference,
a
you know,
little bit
like,
of tang in there definitely
Yeah.
helps, you know, for sure.
yeah. I mean, again, it's everyone's, you know, it's a preference thing. Everyone likes what they like, but that just the exterior of it and the sesame flavor, and just, you know, it's a good
Yeah.
roll.
I keep wanting to try Angelo's. I can't bring myself to wait in
It's so
lines
long.
anywhere, you know.
I just talked about, I think it was the last episode. When I went there, I called, it was something like 27 times before I got through
Wow.
to place an order. And even then it was like, you know, I was like in and out grabbing it. And like there's a line like, you know, the size of Arkansas, like waiting on to order. And I'm like, there's no
Yeah.
way I'd be standing on a line. Like no matter how good it is, like
That's my thing. Yeah.
even like in the city. So I'm assuming it's the same role, but like he partially owns that one with Bradley Cooper, like in
Yeah.
New York. And it's like the one guy that I know was like, yeah, we should do that video together. And I'm like, you know, how long's the line? He's like, oh, it's only like an hour and a half. I'm like, no.
No, man, I'm
Like,
sorry.
no, I just don't have an hour and a half of my life that I'm
gotta-
waiting on a line for
Give me
meat,
a
cheese, and a
fast
roll.
pass or
I'm just-
something, you
yeah,
know?
I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I don't care how good it is. I'm not doing it. I refuse.
I'll try it someday, but I'm not
Yeah.
waiting in line. Hats off to them, though. They got a great
No,
product.
yeah, they're
you
always
know, so-
busy. I mean, they're always, yeah.
And most people, when they open up and do that, they've been around for a long time, so they didn't just open up. But look, most people die down and calm down after a while. They're still hanging
Oh, yeah,
strong.
no, they're jamming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like most people consider them to be the best cheesesteak around. And then
Yeah.
I haven't had it because the ovens weren't ready that day or whatever. But a lot of people consider their pizza to be the best in Philly also.
Yeah.
And like I said, unfortunately I didn't get to have it while I was there. But yeah,
The only negative thing I've heard about that place is the line.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So,
And parking.
yeah,
Parking over there is terrible. I parked in like the Rite Aid like 3 blocks away and walked.
Sure, they loved it.
Yeah, I went in and bought a soda and like left the receipt on my dashboard so they didn't like
Nice.
make sure I came back to a car.
Cover your bases.
I wanted to ask, especially because there are, again, I don't want to use names, but so many other, you know, kind of like fresh bread companies that
Yeah.
deliver to places, cheesesteaks, hoagies, whatever. You know, there's at least 2 sides to kind of like the business, you know, thought or ethics or whatever. You know, there's room at the top for everyone, and then there's we're going to be the best, and screw you guys, we're going to bury you, you know, kind of thing. Like, do you kind of stand firmly on either side of that?
I am more of a the more bakers, the better. The world needs more bakers, and I believe we should all be friends. And we're all in the same boat. We're all doing the same thing. And when I go to work, it's not just work; it's a battle. And you want as many resources as you can get. So if something happens, you want to be able to reach out to friends in the baking industry to help you out, and vice versa. So I think there should be more. I welcome, and iron sharpens iron.
Right.
You know, so if you're the only game around ever, where's the motivation to be better?
Yep.
And improve? There is none. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm friendly with some bakers, some others I'd like to be better friends with, and I'm not. But you know, I'd like to work on that stuff. But I think we should all be, you know, your competitors on the street, you know, and your customer base is your customer base. But I think when it comes to business, as bakers, we should be comrades and friends, and you know, work together. You know, and not so much to where we're going to raise prices together and stuff like that, monopolize things. But, you know, there's, you know, breakdowns and I'm missing this ingredient. You have this and you have that, and help each other out. You know, it should be like that, you know. Like, you know, I'm sure you have friends in the business that sell cheesesteaks, you know. It's better to be friendly with people than enemies.
I say that all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I know of people who are at each other's throats for what?
No good comes from
What?
that. No good.
It's not worth it.
No, it's better to just be friendly with everybody, especially if you're in a community. Be friendly.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
and you know, fellow bakers, we're all the same people. We're all doing the same thing. You know, and you can help each other out. You know, when people come in and they say, "Can I show someone your equipment?" You know, one of the manufacturers. Absolutely, bring them in, and I learn from those people that come in. They learn something from me. I learn something from them, and you can always learn something from anybody all the time. If you don't think you can learn something from everybody, you really need to open your mind, because you really can learn something from everybody, all the time. Yeah, I've always kept my mind open, and I look forward to people visiting and other bakers for sure. And when somebody invites me to their place, I definitely take them up on it, you know, because you see just little things, you know, like you're struggling with something like putting seeds on Kaiser rolls one day. I was down at Aversa one day, like 15 years ago. Ralph was kind enough to let me go in and look at one of his lines, and I seen them down there. They were seeding Kaiser rolls in a way that I never thought of doing it. And I was like, oh, of course. You know, so, I mean, it's a little thing. It doesn't change my business. It doesn't
Right.
hurt his business.
Right.
But, you know, you help each other. He was kind enough to let me in. I learned something. And, you know, hopefully someday if he ever needs anything, I can return the favor. But, you know, I send him business sometimes, you know, when I can. And, you know, there's other bakeries, too, they're friendly. And Marbito Bakery, which is not one you guys hear much about, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, well, they have them at the depot.
Right. They're more of a mass production
Yeah.
place. You know, you'll find them at Restaurant Depot. They do a lot of hospitals, hotels, prisons, stuff like that. But I'm really close with that family, the Marbito family. We all grew up in Norristown, and you know, their father, my father were friends, and even to this day, like I'm sure I have 5 missed calls from his daughter, and because she's helping me set this oven install up. And I bought the oven from her brother. Her other brother, Mike, owns the bakery in Norristown. Her brother, Damien, sells equipment to me. Family is great. They help me so many ways I can't even. And they came in when I first got my tunnel oven. They're like, "Hey, this is how it works." You know, I've never had one before, so they helped me out. And when another person bought a tunnel oven, I paid it forward to him. I went down and I helped him. So I learned that from them as well. You know, fellow bakers should help fellow bakers. It's just the way it should be.
Yeah, I love that. And we talk about that with the restaurant and stuff, too. I totally agree. It's I don't really personally think there's any need for, you know, trying to squash each other out or anything like that. But there are people that believe that, you know, or feel that way. So I was just curious. You know, I didn't know, you know, like every industry is slightly different, you know, every little section of industries and stuff. So
there are guys who are very territorial, and they won't let you in their place. They won't let you see anything. And listen, I could tell you my recipes and tell you my process. You're not going to duplicate what I'm doing any more than I'm going to duplicate what you're doing.
Right.
It's just not. I have trouble doing it every day in my own place. So it's just not feasible. But the old school way of thinking is, you know, keep it all under lock and key.
Right.
It's just not like that, you know. It's just not. It's too hard to duplicate what you're doing.
Yeah.
We moved our bakery from that little store in Norristown 7 miles up the road, and we had to learn how to bake all over again. The equipment was different.
Right.
The pipes for the water were different. That little bit makes a huge difference. It's just, you got to learn how to do it all over again. So going to another bakery with your own knowledge and everything, it would take you time to relearn what you know.
Right.
So it's not. Yeah,
There's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So to follow up, I know you touched base a little bit on this, but we talked about bread. We were talking about bread, and phenomenal. I'm here. I'm learning something every second that we're sitting here. I'm like, I don't even know how to talk anymore. I'm sitting here. But that being said, when the name Corropolese, or however we went out,
Corropolese.
when we get that, when that name is brought up, at least I'm saying in Lehigh Valley here. I mean, I don't know outside the Lehigh Valley, but I was born and raised here. So when that name is brought up, bread isn't what they think of.
No, it's not our
The
signature.
first thing they think of when you say that is, you got tomato pies?
Yeah. People think I drive around in my trunk,
Which
like everywhere.
which to me is crazy, just that concept. And then to see it on Hershey chips and whatever it is. So people live and die by it. How? Why?
It's simple. it's just too simple. I mean, for me, growing up with it, it was always there. But if I look at it from the outside looking in, it's a bizarre product. It's cold dough with sauce on it, no cheese. Like, it's bizarre. Why do people love it? But I think a lot of people make it, and you can say theirs is better. So, it's crispier, or it has a more savory sauce or something like that. And I may enjoy it better too sometimes, but we make it for the masses. So ours is a little sweeter. It's not crispy. It's one where you're not going to eat one piece. You're going to sit down and you're going to be like, you're going to eat one. And before you're done, you got another one in your hand. And before you know it, you ate 4. And
I think the sauce makes it.
the sauce
really
makes
do.
it. Yeah.
Because I'm not a tomato pie guy. I just never was. However, I introduced a cheesesteak tomato pie. So I put cheesesteak meat on it with Cooper cheese and some cherry pepper mayo on top.
That's awesome.
And with that sauce that's on there, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'll make you one when we leave. If I have any
Absolutely.
left.
Yeah.
I'll put you
Yeah,
one.
I'm curious. I did try Cooper Sharp on ours,
Never
but the cheese burned on me.
I'm gonna make you one when we get out of here. And you'll see.
It's good.
It's great.
It's good.
Great.
Yeah, I got to check that.
No ideas.
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're using his product.
No,
Don't steal this.
Damn. I thought I came up with something. I'm not going to have your oven placed out here today.
I got to say, the biggest, no duh moment I ever seen was when Mark made that sandwich out of the
Oh, I know.
tomato
It was
pie.
like chicken parm or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was like, how did no one
Oh, it
think of
looks
this?
awesome.
How did no one think of this before? My mind was blown. And
Yeah, especially because half of it's made for you already.
right. I mean, you're just using. It's just a no-brainer to me. And I told my brother runs all the retail stores. And I said, you got to do this sandwich. He's like, no. That's not going to sell.
It's not going to sell.
And Mark's down there blowing them out.
Right.
It's got to be great. I haven't tried it yet. I want to try it. But
Yeah, I'm telling you, though, the tomato pie, you can't mention anything. I mean, I just mentioned to one of my buddies today that we have your line here. He's like, you have the tomato pies? Like I just said, I used their bread. Like, how'd you go to tomato pie? Like, that's
Yeah,
the
it's
first
just-
thing their brain is wired to hear right away, which is crazy. It's crazy. But I guess that's your forte.
We've
Specialty.
changed with the times over the years with different breads and rolls and everything, but that's been a constant since day one. And that's been with us for over 100 years. So I think it started out when my great-grandfather had extra bread dough. He's making Italian loaves, and he had extra bread dough, and he's like, let me throw some of the sauce in there. Because back in the day when they came over from Italy, they all knew how to make tomato pies, and they made them. Everybody claims to be the first. Who knows who was? I don't know. But, he's like, let me just throw it out there. And it was like an afterthought to use the spare dough up. Also with that hot pepper pizza I was telling you about, I had an afterthought because I had scrap dough at the end. I'm like, what do I do with it? I made hot pepper Italian bread. It's freaking awesome, man. It's good stuff.
I'm sure it is.
So the tomato pie, it's definitely what we're known for, and that's not going away. That's going to be our hallmark product forever.
Yeah.
And dude, I wish I could just bake them all day. The price point, like the labor, everything is.
Yeah, I was just going to ask
perfect
if it
now.
was easier for you.
The labor on that is so much less. Like we got to make like 200 dozen hoagie rolls to make the profit of like 5 tomato pies.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that extreme.
But that's still,
Yeah. The labor that goes into a hoagie roll compared to a tomato pie is just night and day, And we make, I don't know, like a Monday we might make like 300 full sheets of tomato pies, and then Saturday, Sunday might be like 1,200. Super Bowl we get up to 5,000, 6,000.
Jeez.
Which is just insane. And
I know for last year's Super Bowl, being that the Eagles were in the Super Bowl,
yeah,
I went out and bought a metal shelf, one of those rolling metal shelves,
just to stack 'em
just
up.
to be able, because I had no room for the pre-orders of tomato pie. And this thing was, we're talking about those
Like industrial.
6-tier industrial shelf. And it's the whole thing, top to bottom. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
It's definitely a humbling experience to see something like that, Just, it definitely humbles you a little bit to look and see someone, like a lot of people enjoy something you're making.
Yeah.
And growing up, I took it for granted. It was just something that was there. I got tired of eating it for 5 years when we were moving the store. So I despised it for a while. But hey, give people what they want, And I think the sweetness of the sauce, which Everyone out there that makes their own tomato pie knocks our sauce because they say it's too sweet, too sweet,
Oh,
too
I don't
sweet.
think so.
I think
But-
that's what makes it.
Yeah, me too.
That's what makes it. Everybody.
Obviously, we're not the only ones saying
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
yeah,
what-
it's like thousands.
we're
Yeah,
just,
right.
Like I said, we make it for the masses. You can make a more savory sauce and a crispier crust, and I would enjoy it. I'm sure you would
Oh, yeah.
too. But I think for the masses, you're going to sell more of it the way it is.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's just the way it is. I thought about doing a more savory one, but why?
Well, yeah, right. You're already. I mean,
Yeah,
with the success of this,
this is successful for us, and other people are making the other one. Let them make it, and
right?
there's plenty
Why
for
would
everybody.
you fix something that's not broken?
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you hear the noise and you want to not let it get to you, but
Yeah.
it gets to you.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, you know what? I'm going to make one. But,
Yeah.
you know, you just block. You got to do what you do. Do what you do it right, and block the noise out, you know.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, so I just have one. I mean, and figure it'll be in closing. Because, you know, of your success in many years doing this, your whole family, everything. Do you have any business advice that you would give people, like younger people that have a skill and are like aspiring to make that skill the rest of their life? Like what becomes their work?
The biggest thing I've learned in business is relationships. That's the key thing for me. So, Chad, this is the first time I met you, right?
Right.
I want to know you. I want to have a good relationship with you.
Sure.
And the relationships that I'm building with my customers are as important or more important than the bread I'm giving them sometimes, you know? So if you have a good relationship with someone, you have a bad day, I can reach out to you and be like, Chad, I had a bad one today, man. I apologize, you know, and you're going to give me a little bit of slack, you know?
Understand, right?
You know, so if you don't have that relationship, you have a bad day. Some people drop you like a bag of dirt instantly. But also relationships go deeper than that. Like you have to build relationships with everyone, everywhere, and you grow that way. So like the growth I'm getting is more, we don't have a sales team. You know, there's no sales reps out there pushing our product. You know, there's relationships, like I'm building relationships with you guys, you know, like you already were out there selling for me today or whenever you were out there. So, but, you know, those word of mouth and being a good person and doing good business with people and building relationships helps your business grow, you know. You know, that you stick with what you do it well. Like I said, block out the noise, you know what you do, stay in your wheelhouse, do it well. You know, you make a quality product, put it out. It's going to speak for itself and the money will come eventually. Don't worry about the money. Do what you do it well. Money will come later. You know, I spent a long time chasing money. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's definitely not the way to go. You know, build the relationships for sure.
And I do hope people hear you when you say that, because it feels like we're going away from that. Like I feel it's like this, you know, internet age that we're in, and like everyone's, you know, in their phone and just not, you know, people will be across the room texting each other instead of talking out loud, you know. So it's like I do hope, especially for younger people that are, you know, aspiring to get into business or just in general, like in life in general, like how important having a meaningful relationship with somebody is.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, and then another thing, you always, like we touched on it before, you have to stay hungry. You have never get complacent. No matter how great you think you are or how good you're doing, it only takes an instant to be knocked down.
Lose everything. Right.
You have to stay humble. You have to stay hungry. Always building. Always moving forward. If you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. Have to move forward. You know, and another thing I see some people do, like I was telling you about, people trashing our sweet sauce and everything. So another thing I teach my son all the time, never put someone else down to lift yourself up. You know, so that's part of business as well.
I don't even know how to take this, man. I'm getting a tear in my eye. It's going back to what you're saying. You don't see this anymore.
Right. No, I know.
You don't see it. You
I
don't
totally
see it
agree.
from the new business owner. You don't see it from the old business owner. You don't see it from the young generation growing up. What you're saying is identical to how we here try to run our thing. And he knows that for a fact.
Yep.
I wish success on everyone. Like, I
absolutely.
I truly believe without relationships, and I do wholesale on the side too. So I deal my relationship with my customers, whether it's there or in the retail shop, is far more important.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't think without it you have anything.
No. You're just,
I don't hear it. I don't hear it often. You just
No.
don't hear it often.
No, it's true.
That,
one of my big things with my distributors that bring products to me is I stress I don't want to be a number. I want to be a person. So when the bigger companies like Cisco or somebody comes in, I don't even entertain them.
Yeah.
I'll pay more from a family-owned company and know that I'm being taken care of by a person and it's going to a family before I deal with a big corporation. I just want to stay family with everything I can as long as I can. It's getting harder,
Yeah.
but
The companies are squeezing smaller companies out.
they are, man. And it's the regulations are killing everybody. They're choking everybody. The little guys can't keep up. Like I told you, I spent 3-4 months in school last year taking
Right.
classes.
Right, for HACCP and everything.
Right, just to stay up on regulations. And you have to do it. And they're telling me I'm supposed to have a 7-member team to do what I'm doing. That's just one of the many hats that I'm wearing.
Right.
Seven people's jobs. So it's the regulations are tough on businesses, and inspections, things like that. They're a necessity sometimes, and you got to do it. And it makes us better. I've learned a lot, and I've grown as a businessman with the cleanliness, sanitation, things like that. And it made me better at what I'm doing. Knowledge is power. So I actually took a few more courses just to enhance what I learned and learn more. You can always learn. That's another thing. I'm always trying to learn.
How many, I don't think we touched on it earlier, how many locations do you have right now?
Right now we have our 3 stores and our central baking facility. We did try to franchise twice, and we learned that it needs to be family.
Personal attention.
Right. So if you want things done, if you're going to put your name on something, like I said, we put our name on there. We take it serious. My brother and my sisters and my nieces, nephew, my son, we take it serious. But when someone else just gives you money to use your name, it's not.
They're there for the money.
They're there for the money.
Well, we just talked about this not that long ago too. Is like even in these like huge box places like McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever. It's all frozen. It's all like pre whatever.
Yeah.
But still, you can go to one here in the Lehigh Valley and then go one down in the Philly area, or whatever, and the food's going to be different.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so strange. Like even these huge companies that are spending billions of dollars to figure this out still haven't figured out a way to get the same burger into your hand in different spots of the country.
You can't. It changes.
Yeah.
You still have that human factor. You have weather. How long was it in the freezer
Right.
before they? There's just too many factors, and it's just there's no way to really do it. They do as best they can, but whenever I see a small family company try and franchise, I want to just reach out and warn them, like, just don't do it. It's your name. Don't. I see when I was younger, Gennardi's, you remember them guys?
Mm-hmm.
They sold that out and they got destroyed. That whole company's gone now. I mean, they made good money on it and everything, but it was sad to see it go. Now you're stuck with Giant Acme.
Yeah, right. Right.
The family touch is gone. That's my brother on the retail end. He doesn't want to do DoorDash and stuff like that because he wants the customers to come in and see us still. And the new generation don't want to do that anymore. So
Well, that's another thing like we were talking about. There's the younger people don't have that personal touch or that need for it or desire for it.
no, they're okay being a number and just click on their phone and get a cheesesteak delivered from whoever they don't care. There's no pride in that.
No, I agree. Yeah, I've always been the same way. I like, we were talking, we had a general manager from Wawa on, and we were talking about how sometimes like people will walk up and there's a human here with no line and there's the self-checks and people will go right to the self-check.
Exactly.
And it's like so interesting. It's like, there's somebody right there. You can just like talk for a couple seconds, they can handle this for you. And like whether they just are not, personable people or whatever, instead they just choose that self-check.
Yeah, absolutely. People got like dehumanized during COVID.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone back.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to.
No.
I don't think it is.
That's
no,
sad.
because generation was raised in that.
Yeah.
So that generation is going to be, it's gone.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it definitely changed everything. The way we were raised is different, way different.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of an unfortunate way to end the episode.
It's all right. It's positive. Think positive.
I feel like it was a really good hour, 10 minutes, and 14 seconds or so. And then, right at the end there.
Very depressing.
Cut the last minute out.
These kids suck. All right, thanks for coming by.
That's not what we said, Chuck. It's not what we said.
The podcast didn't suck, but the kids do.
Oh. Hit the music.
That's it. Is there anything else that you'd like to plug or say or throw anything out there?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys,
Well, we
having us out.
definitely, at least for me, I mean, this was a huge learning experience.
Oh,
for
yeah.
me. This last hour, I think I learned more about what we talk about and what we take for granted sometimes, and the way it comes in, and not here, but just in general, anywhere you go, take for granted that the amount of work that goes into it. And this is definitely a something to learn from. Anybody should learn from that. Everything that anybody does, there's a lot that goes into it.
You're always learning.
That's awesome. That's
Have
awesome.
to always learn.
Definitely appreciate you coming in and relaying some of this over to us
Yeah.
and to our viewers. And
I appreciate you guys
And
having me out. I'm just one guy I have 35 people working with me. All of them are just as important as me. They get to take days off. I don't. But, we're all.
Just as important, but they're rested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know for me, and I'm sure you feel the same, like I would now, not that I wouldn't already, but I would even be more comfortable pushing your product to other places now, knowing the type of person you are. Like after having this talk, I think that, it's,
I
there's
appreciate
a lot of values there. And like, me personally, that's a big deal for me. So
yeah, I'm hoping to get some of the, like we discussed earlier, some of your apparel here in house too.
Yeah,
to
I'm
bring
sure
to
Jay will hook you
Norristown
up.
here, to Norristown here, because it's awesome. And like I said, we proudly hang your sign on our wall that says
I appreciate
we use your
that.
bread. So
I sent them out. I didn't know if anybody was going to use them, hang them
we
up or
use them.
not. But
I believe totally that our product is the heart that we put into it, and also the bread that it goes on.
yeah,
So
you put pride out there. You got your name on it. And you take pride in it.
That's it.
That's a big ingredient in
thank you.
everything.
thanks for showing up. Thanks.
yeah, no, thank you so much for coming in. I think this was an excellent episode. I'm really excited. I'm sad Mark couldn't be here, but
I forgot to put a drink out.
yeah, I
for
know
him.
you got to
Yeah.
pour one for our homies.
Yeah. There you go.
The water's back.
There you go, buddy.
Enjoy the water, Mark. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching and or listening. This has been the Extra Meat Podcast with Mike from Corropolese.
It's not Corropolese.
Oh,
it's
you're
not
right.
Corropolese. What is it?
You're right. Oh my God, I forgot how to say it already.
Corropolese.
Corropolese. I'm gonna have to watch this episode every time I want to remember how to say it.
Extra meat vibes, straight from the
Corropolese.
spot. Lehigh Valley to the world we roam. Food talk fire, yeah, we bring it.